Okay, so as I mentioned before, as you could see, the first step that we can call it the first video, it was actually like the basic things that you need to do. And as I mentioned before, is just that I use the y-axis to create my animation first, and after that I moved to the z-axis. So that was the y-axis was 0 to 150, and then the 30, 60, and 90, and all those frames. And after that I went to the z-axis and then added the actual height, which was just in 15, 45, and so on. Now what we're going to be doing is just that, okay, let's go into this and have a little bit more, little bit of details, so make it even more interesting. And in this case, where we're going to go is just that the curve editor we call. So let's go to the screen. So over here we can see that if you move your mouse to this part, which is a kind of a curve editor, the graphic kind of tools that we can call it. If you click onto this, and make sure that you do have your character selected in order to see these things, okay? So you get this part. I'm just gonna move this guy over here. So as you can see, we have all those keys, so which is like, I like to work keys to making them at the same place. So as you can see, like, okay, well, this is a 15 key frame, and then it's gonna be in this part. Now let's have a look at more into details a little bit more, okay? When you start to look at this, you soon realize that, oh, there's some, as I mentioned to the class, there's some laws of physics that doesn't apply to this program at the moment, because it's just that if you understand a little bit of physics, I'm going to just go into my z-axis, obviously, because it'll be simpler. So as you can see over here, just a little quick review, it's just that he goes from start, he goes slow, jumping up, and after that he starts to increase his speed, and then obviously he starts to slow down, and after that he reaches his maximum height, so slowing down, and then gets to start to accelerate, so the gravity is pulling him, but before he gets to the floor, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to slow down. So therefore that doesn't work for us, okay? So this is when you come to this guy and you start to really add some little details into this. So if I go and do the rubber band selection of all those keys, the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to make them fast. If you scroll over top, if you don't remember them, just like go and just scroll the mouse over it, and it'll tell you set tangent to slow. No, we want them to be set tangent to fast. So I click onto this and watch what happens to the graphic. Boom. Oh, now we got a little bit more kind of drastic. Fast out, slows down at the top. That's what we need. Fast in, fast out. So if I look at right now, I'm going to just minimize this a little bit and just press onto play. You'll see a little bit of like a little bit more difference, okay, but not as much. And I wanted him to have a little bit more airtime, we can say, okay. So here's a quick way, is that I'm going to rubber band all of these keys over here at the top, and we'll make him Michael Jordan. So I already got, like, usually you're not going to get this lock key, lock tangent they call, okay. So you click on it, activate this. What it means is just that if you don't, and you start to use this guy over here, and you start to move, only this key will be changed. So I'm going to Control Z. I want to change all of them at the same time. So if you lock this, it will change all the selected keys that you have. So if I click on this one and just pull them this way, keep them level, obviously, and then I'm going to change this and just to make sure that's going to be only horizontal. So I'm going to pull that guy over here, okay. That guy. So now we get a little bit more hanging time as far as I'm concerned, and it's a cartoony, you know, like it's a ball. So therefore, yeah, you can see that from the animation, it's getting a little bit more, it's getting better. But from the point A to point B, still, like from at the end and then the start, it's not the same. So if I look at this over here in the y-axis, oh, that's why, because I get all of those little keys, and it says like slow, and then gain some speed, momentum, and then starts to slow down before the end. I don't want to have that. Remember when I said in the first video, just said, while we're creating keys, or we might delete them. So if I'm going to rubber band in between those two major keys, and I'm press on delete, because I don't need those keys. He's not moving he's only moving from point A to point B in the y-axis. Still slow in, and then still slow out, and slow in. So I'm going to select those two again, and I'm going to make them fast, or linear, sorry. Make them linear. So in this case, if you go and scroll over that, it says tangent to linear. Click onto this. Now if I look at my animation, it's like constant speed from the start to the end. and then you can modify that as much as you want, but it's just that for me, it's pretty basically what I wanted to do. Why am I not changing the X position? Because obviously if I look into my screen, it's just that I don't want them to bounce back and forth in this way. So this is what I call a little bit more details into your curve editor, and if you are an animator, this is where you're going to spend a major time into your animation. That's where you're going to fix stuff. Later on, we might do a little bit more of these things, a little bit more details, but for now, that's the main thing about the actual curve editor, so that you can actually just go in and just edit your keys and make it look nicer. You want to look at curves that are smooth and nice, not rigid or not jaggy and these kind of stuff. So if you see and you come to the curve editor, and I'll show that back again over here, you click on this and you see some jaggy kind of graphs or curves, you want to change those. That means it's not going to look good, I'm pretty sure. So that'll be it for this video.